You can see who they're trying to attack, where they're trying to get the ball to, trying to really attack coverages. So, they're going to be a big challenge, really explosive offense. And obviously when you got a quarterback of his knowledge, his experience, his talents, I mean, it's going to challenge the defense. So we got our work cut out for us.
How do you guys prepare for a team that has that much speed and explosiveness? Because they're known for explosive plays. I mean, how do you kind of prepare for that?
Well, it's when you're playing a heavier run team, you kind of tend change your periods to more run, more inside, more heavier personnel. And then when you get into teams that want to throw the ball, get you out in space and stuff, you might do a little bit more 7-on-7, get the guys in more space-oriented situations. So that way, the game day is more like practice. So you do little things like that. Coach, that's the great thing with Coach. He says, hey, what do you guys need? And if it's more 7-on-7, then we do more 7-on-7. If it's more team, more team. If it's more against the offense, whatever it is we need to do to put these guys in the situation that they're going to be in the game, he allows us to do. And so doing little things like that, making sure that we hop on the little things that get us in position to make plays.
You guys saw Travis Hunter last year when he was brand new to the FBS level, and so now getting to see that year on tape and what he did in the opener, playing both sides of the ball. And from your perspective, how impressive is that to I think he played like 120 some plays.
Yeah. I mean, he's a special talent. I mean, he's the best two-way player, one of the best athletes in the country. I mean, there ain't no way to sugarcoat that. You know what I mean? And again, it's one thing to face him and to have to defend that, and then it's another thing when you're just watching football and you really just admire the way he goes about the game, his love for the game, the way he plays. I mean, you can see him. He's a playmaker no matter where you put him. And so again, it'll be a challenge to the defense, and we got to make sure we're ready to go.
What do you impress upon your DBs when you cover a guy like that who seemingly catches just about everything that's within his reach?
Yeah, no, I mean, you just got to go back to fundamentals, go back to what we do and the situations that Coach Butler and all the defensive staff, they're putting the guys in right now, trying to mimic the same situations that our guys are going to be in the game, and you just rep it and you trust your training and you go out there and like I said, through the week you prepare in a way where you have confidence going into the game on Saturdays.
How did the in-helmet communication go on Saturday? And did you really even use it with the crowd noise and all that?
No, that's the thing with on the defensive side of the ball, the crowd is the loudest. So I mean, the crowd was awesome. I mean, I almost started keeping account of how many penalties the crowd gets, for the other team's offense. But it also hinders us as well. So that's why we had our normal signals and went about business as usual. So. But we continue to work with it, continue to move guys around in the green dot. So when it is time, we can use it to our advantage.
Yellow sleeves underneath the shirts for a couple of you guys on the sidelines. Is that just a visibility thing if the helmet communication is
Yeah, you know what? Somebody told me about that. Like, that's a new fashion statement or something. Heck, no, that's all because the Jamari and those guys, they had a hard time seeing me with all the colors on the sideline. So they kept on pressing to say, Coach, wear a different color, do something. And so in the summertime, we had the Mat Rule football camps, and we wear those neon green to identify, who's part of the staff. And so one day I wore it at practice, and the guys were like, Coach, we can see you really easily like that, wear it on game day. And I'm like, green's not my color, but I'm like, for you guys, we're going to do it. So it was cool to see. And then, like I said, all the defensive signals are in it, so they can see us right away. We can get the calls in and let them play.
How'd you feel Marquise did at corner?
Awesome. I mean, he had that really nice break up on our sideline, one-on-one ball, didn't panic, went through the hands, did everything, and that's what you get with an experienced guy. But it was also all the other guys around him. The front getting some pressure, the safety taking number 2, so the ball went high. So, and Keese, again, trusted his training, was in the right spots, didn't panic, and he made the play. So it's fun to watch him continue to grow, play, show his versatility on film between going from corner and safety.
Couple interceptions. What is that the start you were looking for from a turnover standpoint?
No, I mean, of course, it was good, but I'm mad at the one that Deshaun got hit in the face mask with, and we dropped there. That's one that we got to be able to take. And as you play in these kind of games, the one coming up on Saturday, you have to make those plays. So you heard me all day today. It was like, hey, if a ball hits you in the face mask, dude, you can't let that one get away. So it was fun to watch again. everyone sees the interception, but it's the start of the play. They aligned correctly. Their eyes were right. They knew the call. They communicated with the guy next to him. The guy's up front getting pressured. He's in the right leverage. So there's a whole multitude of steps that was probably the most important thing for those guys to be in those positions. And then Ramir Stewart, his interception was really cool because the offense came out and they ran the same play from the opposite field, and they beat him across his face, and they got one of their explosives that way. They came back a couple plays later, ran the same play against them, against the same defensive call, and he self-corrected him on the field and got the interception. Those kind of things right there show you how really good football players, can think on the field and self-correct. And so it was really cool to see a young guy be able to do that. So now again, it's another week, so we got to do it again.
With the athleticism of Colorado's quarterback, how do you walk that fine line of, bringing pressure and then also making sure you're playing the numbers game correctly on the back end?
Yeah, I mean, we got to do what we got to do. That's the coaches, again, coming together and saying what the best calls, what the best philosophy is to not only when we do pressure, what the coverage is going to look like. When we drop everybody, what's the rush going to look like, playing complementary football on defense. So that's the challenge, right? I mean, he's a talent, and it seems like if you go back through and look at all the games, there's a lot of ways people played him, and I mean he was still able to perform, still able to execute. So again, really big challenge, but he's the type of player that makes you a better coordinator. You know what I mean? Because you have to find ways. You got to be creative. You got to find ways to cover. You got to find ways to attack them. You got to find ways to disguise. So it's going to be a challenge.
How pleased were you with the tackling? It looked like there were very few missed tackles, especially for a team that was trying to force you to maybe tackle in space last week.
Yeah, I thought when we got there, the guys got there with some bad intentions. I think we need to shore up our angles. There's a couple times where we got cut back on, and we don't. That's not what we do. That's not what we preach. So again, you love the things that you did well, but every step of the way, it's what can we do just that much better. And that's the first thing we showed the guys, and coach pointed out, hey, let's do this better. Let's take that ball away that we're supposed to. Let's track our near hips, and let's really go after the football. And so that was the highlight, of this week starting off and making sure that we get those things done.
What's impressed you most about Ty Robinson with the improvement that we've seen maybe this time last year versus now, and how he was able to impact the game on Saturday?
Yeah, I remember Ty, when we first got here, Ty, he had played, but he really didn't play like that because the injury and all that kind of stuff. So last year, turning him and Nash and those guys loose, same way Jamari, turning all those guys loose. Now, they know the defense, so they're comfortable in it. They start moving different positions, start playing around that way, and you get to see them now just be instinctive and go and get off the ball. The cool thing was about that was last week, we had an adjustment probably early in the week that we wanted to play things a certain way. And the guys were able to pick it up and do it, and it was probably one of the best things we did last week on defense. And it was a last minute change to the defensive game plan, and they were able to do it just because they felt comfortable and everything. So when you get guys who know what they're doing and know how to do it, then you see the aggressiveness, you see the speed, you see their talent take form. So it was fun to watch Ty go out there and play a really good game.
Did MJ and Mackay come off as good on tape to a coach as it maybe seemed to a layperson in that first game?
Yeah, really good. I mean, the safety down there, I mean, we're not blitzing Mackay. He's back there reading, and he blinks and he sees run, and he dips underneath the guard or tackle, and he accelerates through the hole, and he creates the initial the pile for the safety to happen, And he's just a really instinctive football player, And again, it's about getting him in position to let him go out there and let him use his instincts. And so those little things might not show up to everybody, but like you said, when you go back and watch the film, you really have an appreciation for guys who trust the process, who really believe in what they're doing, believe in their teammates, and then go out there when the lights are on and go and do it. It's one thing to know it all and stuff in the classroom, but then to see a guy go out there and just play football and be aggressive, those things are fun to watch.
In the parts of the game before, it was a 3 or 4 touchdown lead, and you started to put all kinds of backups in. Were you able to sub the way that you wanted to, the way that you would like to when you're playing a close game for 4 quarters? You feel like you have the depth right now that you're looking for?
Oh, I mean, you can always develop depth. You know, the story behind that is, you know, you want to get guys in the game, and you know, it was coach's challenge to the older guys to be like, hey man, let's play hard, let's be ourselves, let's be aggressive. So that way those guys who have worked alongside you all spring, all summer, all the OTAs in the summer and all that stuff, those guys get in the game. So when we were up, coach was, and this is really, I mean, different thinking is he was like, get those guys in the game. Hey, I want to see so-and-so. I want to see so-and-so. I want to see so-and-so. And as coaches, you know, you're just locked into the game. You're locked into down distance, the personnel, what they're doing, making calls. You don't really see the benefit of all those guys playing. You know, and I saw the article, over 108 guys playing. Just think of like when they came back in here, how cool it was for Maverick Noonan to go in there after the injury to come back and have a big time tackle for a loss. I mean, a guy who, you know, busted his butt, been here, program, move positions, do all that kind of stuff, and then go into the game. I don't even know if he was in the defensive meetings. Him and Noonan, they were in the scout meetings the whole week, but yet they were in tune, locked in to go in there and execute a call. Maybe they didn't even practice all week. That type of stuff, it just resonates with the whole locker room, you know. And so when we get in those kind of things, that was all Coach Rule on the headset, you know, having a bigger picture of everything, and that was refreshing to get those guys in the game.
Hey, Tony, from a coordinator's perspective, how beneficial can it be to have 4 full quarters of film to review, while on the other side, maybe they have like 3.5 with starters?
Yeah, I mean, we go back to, you know, the last games from last year as well. So it was. I mean, again, it was good that they put all that stuff on tape, but, you know, they're going to have their wrinkles. You know, they're going to have it's mainly you're looking at concepts and trying to get ideas of what they're thinking and how they want to do things, you know, versus the actual play call. So, I mean, it's good. All those things help in game planning, so we'll see.
How do you prioritize that preparation of last year, and maybe the personnel was a little different play call for part of the season versus this year? It's only one game, but it's more true to what you'll see.
Yeah, no, you go back and look at the numbers and percentages, and again, it's just one game, but you kind of get a flavor of like what they like to do, right? I mean, it goes back to what the quarterback and OC see, how they want to attack. They see cover 4, they want to do this. They see 1 high, they want to do this. They see 2, they want to do this, you know, and see if those concepts remain the same. And then, I mean, it's not a secret, right? They're going to get the ball to 12, they're going to get the ball to 5, and they're going to get the ball to 10, you know. And if you're overplaying all that stuff, then they'll just run the ball, you know. And their O-line is better than, you know, last year, so that threat is going to be there. You know what I'm saying? So again, it's a big challenge.
Just what are the emotions for you for the how big of a spotlight this is going to be for your team and your defense to show what they're capable of on the national stage?
Yeah, right now it's just Tuesday, you know, and we're just worried about us right now, you know, and that's the most important thing. You know, you worry about who you're playing right now, then it all goes for naught. I mean, the process is we got to handle our business. We got to make sure we're tackling. First of all, it all comes back to do we know what we're doing? Number one, do we know how we want to do it? And then just getting those reps, putting those guys in position every day, you know what I mean, making sure their minds are right, making sure their attitudes are right. So that way, when the game comes, they've already played the game so many times during the week. You know, now they can just go out there and play. So it's not so much, you know, again, great talent, some of the best football players, you know, in the country coming in here. But, you know, it's more so what are we going to do and how are we going to do it is probably the biggest thing that concerns us.
Anything else for Coach?
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Hello.
Just a minute. execution standpoint, what really jumped out for game one for you guys?
I think our operation, although it needs to improve, was steady. It was good, getting people on and off. We didn't have really any issues getting people on and off the field. I think from a penalty standpoint, we were good with procedure penalties that slow you down and get you off schedule. Third down, execution on third down, converting third downs was a big deal for us. And to be able to run for 6 third downs, I think that helps. Staying on schedule, that helps an offense stay on the field and get rhythm and get that feeling that we had on Saturday.
How was the in-helmet communication on Saturday with Dylan?
We've been doing it since last spring, so it's nothing new. I mean, it becomes just the way that we communicate every day. We do it every day in practice, every single period, every single scrimmage. So there's no issues as far as the communication. Now, electrical and internet, that could probably jump up and get us at some point, but so far so good.
What do you think about the silent iPads and how beneficial that was?
I think it was great. In the NFL we had them, but it's just a still picture. You're able to just literally being in the box, you're connected to the Ethernet, and so you instantaneously get it once the whistle blows. A second goes by, and there it is, and you can see kind of what's happening. And I think it helped us, just improve as the game went on. It's not as much about what the player is doing as much as, hey, they're doing this. This is how we need to react to have more success.
What did you think of Dylan's performance overall, and what did you maybe talk to him about improving when you sat down this week?
The number one thing was just the operation, the rhythm of the offense, and taking care of the football, and he did all 3 of those. I thought he again, talking about a culture of excellence. I mean, he was prepared. He knew exactly where the ball needed to go. He was accurate with the ball, took care of the ball. I was just really excited to see it because I knew, coming up that tunnel walk, that was a lot of years and a lot of memories and a lot of days of anticipation and excitement. And I was hoping that he was going to be able to come out and just play, and just play like he does. And you get nervous sometimes that a young guy gets and tries to do too much, and it's just too emotional. And he was like a freaking surgeon. Like, it was amazing to see him, just his maturity, way beyond his years from that standpoint.
Have you seen indications of that since he's been here?
I have, and you can't help but feel it. Like, when he walks in a room, he's got a little different feeling about him. But again, just scrimmages and practices, I've seen in 20 years of coaching. You turn the lights on at a game, people start to change and do weird things. And he didn't do that. If anything, he became more focused, as scary as that is. So I thought he got off to a really good start. And, there's always things that we can all improve on. He's going to continue to improve on his footwork and how that's the timing of the plays and the passing game stuff. He's going to obsess over all that to make sure he's the best version of himself like he always does. But just super pleased with everything from the brain to the ability of what I saw on Saturday.
Well, you guys are in the 2-minute at the end of the first half, and it went as smoothly as it did. Is some of that attributable to the fact that you're able to talk to him in the huddle? I know you've already talked about the headset, but how much of that was just him being able to know what to do and have that presence? Like, if he didn't have you in his head, do you feel like he would have run that as well?
I still think we would have had the same success. I mean, we have a menu of plays that we're going to get to, certain situations. We have words that explain situations, so there's not a lot of talking. Coach Rule has been with him for a long time now. He's done an unbelievable job starting in the spring, through the summer, into fall camp, of creating situational football. As little as, not just that 2-minute, but just, what we're doing on 3rd and 4th downs and the communication that's layers and layers ahead of even before you have to make that decision allowed us to have success. So that was really good to see. I won't go off on a tangent. To have that 2-minute drill right before the half, you always want to try to get a 2 minutes somehow, some way. And we were able to manufacture one, and hopefully we'll improve because of it.
Because of the way that drive started with him getting sacked and having to come out of play and being 3rd and long, under a minute left, is there any thought there on your part, on Coach Rule's part, like just kind of pack it in for the half, or were you pretty adamant about trying to score there?
No, we were adamant. I mean, we had timeouts, and we've practiced that so much. Like, we were not going to miss an opportunity to go score a touchdown, and we trusted our players, trusted our receivers, trusted our O-line, trusted the quarterback, trusted the running backs in protection and decision makings. That it was just we were anxious to get to that moment to where we could go and see if all the work that we had done, could come to fruition.
How do you feel about the protection, offensive line play in general?
I was pleased. I was really pleased. I thought, the one sack, he kind of moved up in the pocket. It was kind of an awkward because, there was a miscommunication with the receiver. He thought the guy was going to be somewhere, and it kind of got him off track in the pocket. But other than that, I thought they did a tremendous job, with Dylan's help of, just making sure we're moving in the right direction to the right people that are rushing to make sure that we can get that protection. I thought in the run game we were able to, to run the football by handing it off, and that was something I wanted to see, that, not utilizing as much a quarterback run as, just traditionally handing the ball off. I wanted to see what that would look like, and I was very pleased.
Was there anything you learned about
that running back room this week? How do you tighten that up a little bit more? I mean, it's going to be hard, as you said, to keep playing four the way you have.
No doubt. And the other day's game shook out in a manner that we could get them all in the game. But, the most productive guys that take care of the football are going to be out there. Like, they need to continue to compete this week. Like, they had a great day today of competition. Some guys did things well. Some guys didn't do things well, back and forth. So, we'll keep working throughout the week. And then, by the end of the week, we'll play who gives us the best chance to run the football and protect the quarterback.
Is there anything you learned from that room just by seeing them in a game setting versus what they were giving you in fall camp?
Not really. It was pretty much the same. What my anticipation of their skill sets, what they showed up during the game.
How pleased were you with Isaiah's performance after his journey back to this point?
Really pleased. We really didn't go into it saying let's throw a bunch of deep balls here. The ball just kind of found him, and I think he had a chance to make plays and he made them, and that was really, really good to see.
Is that during your film review of this week? What have you seen from Colorado's defense? They've had some changes on the defensive staff.
Yeah, very sound. NFL, a pro style offense. Obviously, people talk about those all the time, but this is a pro style defense. You can see all the different layers that you see on Sundays. I think they do a really nice job. They got very athletic corners that, just can get in your face and play man all day. They got a nickel that can cover anybody on the field. They got two safeties. One safety, obviously, that plays in the middle of the field is really physical. The other safety's athletic, covers guys, does a really nice job. I think they're talented up front, big, long guys that can rush the quarterback, that cause issues, setting the edges in the run game and rushing the passer in the passing game. So that on top of, their system of how they play football is going to be an issue. So we've got to have a nice week of preparation as coaches and players to make sure that we're executing at the highest level come Saturday night.
Matt talked about the tight ends doing a nice job in the blocking game. What kind of opportunities do you see for them to get more involved in some of the passing stuff? I mean, we saw Thomas catch a few balls, but getting deeper.
Yeah, for sure. And, I came out of that game myself. Just, we've got to get vertical concepts for those guys, especially Thomas, with his athletic ability. So we got to continue to make an effort to find ways, find different concepts that, can show his skill set as well.
Anything else for Seth?
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
How did you think the run game and pass protection went?
I thought we played well, but not as well as we would have liked to have played. Our standard is we want to be able to keep the quarterback clean as possible all the time, and then in the run game, we just want to make sure we give the running back a chance, give whoever it is running back there a chance.
How did it feel for you personally, just coming back from the injury in the first game?
Yeah, it felt pretty good. It was really exciting. just being able to run out there again and play in front of 90,000 fans, playing with my teammates, it was awesome.
Dylan was a freshman at quarterback, but did it feel like a true freshman out there leading Nebraska?
He's a really smart kid. I know he's not a kid. He's like 18, 19 years old, but he's very mature for his age. He reads the defense really well. He's able to get us in and out of plays, what he thinks is best fit for either run or a pass game, and I think he's got a really bright future here. So.
When he can make some of the throws he does, how much easier does that make your job?
It's pretty fun to watch him throw the ball. There's a bunch of people comparing him to that guy up in Kansas City. I like to agree with them just because, he plays really well. He throws the ball really well. He's very smart. He helps us out a lot by getting the ball out pretty quick. So, yeah, he's a talented player.
Would you kind of grade your performance going against that defensive line, specifically Westmoreland, and just kind of what they were able to do?
Yeah, Westmoreland, he was a very, very physical pass rusher. He got me with an inside swim move and a bull pull one time. He's definitely going to be able to play on Sundays. That defensive line, they were moving a lot up front. They got us a couple times, put us in some pretty frustrating spots, but, I thought we did all right for the most part.
Was that a nice challenge going forward to be able to go against a line like that? With the defensive lines you're going to face in the Big Ten coming up here.
Yeah.
What about Colorado? When you look at their defense, what jumps out about what they showed against North Dakota State?
I thought they were really physical. They loaded the box up really well. They had a lot of good run fits. They're very physical in the pass game too, getting after the quarterback, getting after that North Dakota State offensive line. But I'm just always looking forward to the challenge. We got a great team ahead of us this week, looking at Colorado, and just studying our butts off. So.
Hey Turner, obviously it's a rivalry game. It's going to be electric in the stadium and everything. Has there been a lot of talk about maybe like trying to keep composure out there on the field when don't want to hurt yourselves with penalties and stuff like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Every single week's a big week for us. Obviously, when we're playing at home, it's a great advantage, but it doesn't matter who our opponent is. We're always looking forward to getting the best out of them and getting the best out of ourselves.
Anything else for Turner? All right, thank you.
This is a guy that's grown up in Nebraska your whole life. What does this matchup with Colorado mean? I mean, you've seen your brother play in some, you've played in some. Obviously, you've watched probably in the past.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of history, and I've witnessed a lot of those games, and it means a lot. Yeah, it means a lot to me.
The last time. I mean,
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, just when you think about it, how big is this game for you, knowing that Nebraska football may never have another crack at Colorado?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, every game is, it's big, but this one's just got a lot of meaning to it.
Hey, I'm sure you remember how you felt coming off that field last year. Their fans are kind of charging the field. How do you use that feeling, if at all, as you motivate yourself this week, and what Colorado may face from Nebraska's fan base this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I haven't really been thinking about it like that. I'm putting the focus on us. I'm not focusing on them. Everybody wants to make the game about them and whatever. It's about us. It's about what we're going to do and how we're going to get better from week 1 to week 2.
Carter Nelson, a new player on the team, said that sometimes the guys have a mantra of we sleep with the enemy every night. You don't want to beat yourselves. How much have you guys talked about that phrase and wanting to make sure you clean up your own mistakes?
Yeah, we call it the disease of me. The enemy can be inside of our own gates. It could be any of us. It could be the team. So we just gotta stay together, work together, fix the correctables, and just focus on the game.
What do you have to do to prepare for just the speed and athleticism you're going to see from those Colorado receivers?
Yeah, they got some very talented players, obviously, and our look team has been giving us a great look. Last week they worked their butt off and gave us a great look, and they're going to do the same this week.
You see, you watch on film, and I'm sure you see with Hunter that he's not a huge guy, but he's physical, and there was complaints during the game that he's pushing off, whatever wasn't called. So as a defense, how do you prepare for the kind of physicality that you're going to get from not just him but their entire receiving group?
Well, like you said, we know what we're going to get from him, right? He uses his body really well. He uses his length. He knows how to use it. He's a smart player. So we just got to be ready for that. Know he's going to be physical at the point of the ball, and be prepared to use our hands and stay tight to his body.
You had to love seeing some of those backups get in on Saturday. Ramir Stewart with the pick. It seems like he's really come on. What have you seen from him?
Yeah, I've seen a tremendous amount of growth from him in the past year. He's really started to click and figure out this game, and it's starting to slow down for him. He's starting to make a lot of plays. It's been fun to watch him.
Anything else for Jeff? All good.
Thanks, guys.
now? How did you evaluate?
There's a lot of plays we wish we could have back as a unit, but the good thing is we get another opportunity Saturday. So we clean it up, fix it, move on from it, and we're kind of already past that game, and looking forward. So yeah, we just fix it and move on.
Dylan, what do you know about Nebraska, Colorado? Obviously, your dad played in a lot of these games here in the past. What do you know about the rivalry and the history of these two teams?
Well, my dad said that he never lost to them. So every time, or this week, he told me, he goes, just so you know, I never lost to them. But no, I know the rivalry runs deep. But, you got to stay focused, the task at hand, and can't get caught up in everything else. So we just got to worry about playing football and doing our brand of football.
For a night game during a visit, is that right? Or have you been here recently for a night game?
I haven't. I haven't been here for a night game, but I've heard great stuff.
What's your expectation of playing under the lights in the stadium?
I think just any other game, just except there's gonna be no sun out and lights instead of the sun to see. So I think just business as usual, and our fans will show out like I know they will, and one of the best atmospheres in college football.
Did your dad make it clear to you growing up, like, Nebraska fans don't like Colorado fans? Like, was that ingrained in you?
It wasn't ingrained in me, but it was something that I knew of. I respect every opponent, respect the rivalry and everybody that played before us. So, yeah, we're just trying to go out there and do our job and come out with a win at the end of the day.
How well do you know? Have you ever met Shedeur Sanders? How much have you watched him play quarterback over the years?
Yeah, I've never met him before, but I've watched him the past couple of years, and tremendous amount of respect for that guy. What he has to deal with everything that comes with being a Sanders. Just have a lot of respect how he's handled that, and I think he's an elite level quarterback, and he's gonna give us everything that we want, and we just got to prepare. First round quarterback, the whole nine. So respect him a lot. I'm excited to compete.
What are you seeing from Colorado's defense on tape?
Yeah, I think they got a bunch of athletes. They got a bunch of guys that can cover, and they got some elite players, NFL type players. So we just got to be smart with our approach, and at the end of the day, we're going to scheme up something, and they're going to scheme up something else. So we just got to be ready for the back and forth, and I think that's what makes football a lot of fun.
What did the film show you that you want to get better, that you feel like you can improve on from week one?
Yeah, I think just progressing through reads, like that's probably going to be my answer to you every week, and that's what it is. There's a few plays here and there. You miss a couple reads, and you wish you could have it back and get the ball to your guys in space. But like I said, we're past that and learn from it, and we had a good practice today, so I'm looking forward to it.
Dylan, how was the helmet communication on Saturday?
Oh, I loved it. It was great. No issues with it, and it's cool. I think it's a nice advantage for all the quarterbacks in college football.
And the sideline iPads, just how impactful was that?
Yeah, those are great. It's weird, like you come in the next day to watch film and you feel like you watched it already, but I think it helps you, make your adjustments that you need to. But also at the end of the day, you don't want to use it too much. So it's kind of finding that balance and how you want to use it to your advantage.
How much does it help to have a center like Ben, who's played so much college football, especially going into a game like this?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of confidence in Ben, and for me to have a guy like that leading our trenches, I believe that's where everything starts. A huge advantage to us. Obviously, Ben's played in a lot of big games, so this is nothing new to him. So, I just lean on him, and he helps guide our offense. So I'm very grateful for him.
Coach Satt said it looked pretty surgical on Saturday, and it seemed like you handled the moment well. Where does that come from?
I think just preparation and trust in our team. Coach Rule does a great job of ramping up practice and making things uncomfortable in practice. So when you get to the game, it's you're just trying to have fun. And our guys did a great job preparing last week, and the biggest challenge is to do it again and be consistent in doing that. So we just got prepared like a normal game.
What are the conversations like that you have with Coach Thomas or Sad or Coach Rule when you guys are watching film and some of the throws that you make that are maybe a little bit off platform, but still, produce the results that you want? Like when you go to a different arm angle, is that something that, what kind of feedback do they give you on the specifically the arm angle stuff?
Yeah, it's obviously it's addressed, and whether good or bad, positive play or not, I think that's what makes them such great coaches is they're trying to tell you what you did wrong, so you can fix it and get better. So I think just taking the coaching and they're very critical, and that's what you want. And nothing really changes. They're never going to apologize for a first down or a touchdown, but at the end of the day, you're just trying to figure out, how you can, be on schedule and, obviously make the reads.
Do you view that part of it as a good thing? I mean, it's producing results, and if you're throwing from a different arm angle, that's an effective part of your game that you want to continue, right?
Yeah, of course, but I think that part, it happens in practice sometimes, but obviously in the game, if it breaks down, having trained all those different things. It kind of just happens naturally. I'm not really back there, like, okay, I'm going to sidearm this one. It's kind of a reactionary thing, and if the defense presents an opportunity for me to have to do it, I'll do it and make sure that, our team's in the best spot to win.
What impresses you about Carter Nelson to, arrive in the summer and pick things up to play right away?
Yeah, well, it's his first month with 22 people on the field, so there's a lot of moving parts going on in his brain, and I think the best part about Carter is he just wants to get better and he wants to learn, and he's so easy to talk to about. If he runs the route wrong, like getting on the same page with me or Danny or Heinrich, anybody, he's always very very approachable, and I think that's going to make him special one day. And even now, he's a special player, and he's only been 11-man football for a month and a half now, so. I'm very proud of him and the strides he's came.
How do you kind of prepare yourself for the emotions that might come on Saturday? I mean, it's a big game, prime time, a lot of eyes on this one, a lot of talk about this one. How do you prepare leading up to it?
Yeah, you just prepare like any other game. There's going to be more cameras, more eyes, whatever the hype of the game. You just got to keep it about football, stay in the moment. It's very cliche to say that, but I think our team does a great job of acting on that, and we're just gonna approach it like a normal football game, and let the results be at the end of the game, and hopefully we're on the winning side.
How did you feel physically after the game on Saturday, and what was your recovery process kind of like?
Yeah, I felt great. O-line did a great job, kept me clean all game. The one hit or one sack I had was my fault. I didn't make the read correctly, and unfortunately it falls on their plate, but I'll take that one. But other than that, my body feels great. Recovery process, coming Sunday. I have a regen workout that I do with by myself, but from Bobby and Coach Campbell, and it's basically get my body back to square one and get a deep massage for a couple hours, and that's a little bit of my recovery, and obviously film is part of that, and move on from the past game and look forward to the next game, and that's a weekly routine, so it's nothing new.
Did you watch last year's Colorado game when they played?
I did, yes. I watched that game live actually. Georgia was playing, and I was down that game, but I watched the game last year. Tremendous atmosphere in Colorado. Never seen a game like that. Coach Prime's gonna have his guys ready to play. Hall of Fame coach. I got a lot of respect for him, but we also got Coach Rule, so I'll trust in him, and we'll be ready to go on Saturday.
Can you get a sense from your teammates of how that game made them feel and the motivation internally this week?
Yeah, it definitely means something a little bit more to him. You can tell. But at the end of the day, he's a coach like a normal football game, and Coach was always fiery like that. So he's always gonna have his guys ready to be their best Saturday. Yep.
What did you see on that safety?
Yeah, all week we knew if the guy was going to go down, that they would have a long mesh with their reads, and it just opportunity came. I saw the guy's head down. I knew he wasn't going to come out and block me, so I just decided to go take my shot.
How exhilarating was that? Doesn't happen every day.
No, yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. I think it just kind of put like the last nail in the coffin for us to go ahead and play the game that we know how to play and go out there and offense went back out there and scored and just kind of kept rolling, went on a run.
How base did you guys play last week? It didn't look like you blitzed really at all the entire game.
Yeah, no, Coach White just wanted to keep it simple for us. He knew with the 11 guys going out there, we'd be okay to go out there and just play our base stuff. And then, just goes to show how true our depth really is and how far they've come with our red team going in there, and then especially our white team. I mean, you didn't really see a drop off, right? I mean, Mason Goldman got one of the only other sacks in the whole game, and that just goes to show how much work we've been putting in over these past few months.
What do you remember about the Colorado game last season and just what they threw at you, what you have to be prepared for this year?
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously a talented team. They got talented players. They're pretty solid on offense. Fortunately, I didn't get to play the first half because of what happened in Minnesota. But I mean, yeah, we're just going to go and prep and treat them like any other opponent and just go watch the film and make sure we're ready for them.
Do you think about that you get a full game to get after them and participate in this rivalry last year and you didn't a season ago?
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to come in, after everyone's already in their kind of groove out there, kind of their flow of the game, and then trying to, jump in there, cold and trying to figure out where the game's going, what they're thinking, and what's already happened. So it's a lot different from watching from the sideline than actually being in the game.
Did you travel there in 2019 as well?
I did not. No, I watched that game from home.
But just the intensity of this rivalry. You've seen a few of them now as a player. What jumps out about the rivalry?
Yeah, it's intense. I mean, going out there, it's really cutthroat. Both teams going at it. You can really feel the emotion and the energy from both sides of the ball. And, just the history that I've been told about from, the older guys and even the guys that played here in the 90s. So I know that it runs deep on both sides.
You played, like 20 reps in that game, the opener? I mean, there wasn't a ton of work for you and Nash in the whole, the whole starting D line. Is that do you like that at the beginning of the year to kind of ease into things, or would you like to be able to throw yourself in and play 40 or 50 reps in the first game?
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't mind going out there playing 40, 50. I mean, I just think that the dominance of our performance just allowed us to get everybody a chance to go in and play. And I think Coach Rule has done a really great job of, helping us, go out there, do what needs to be done to allow those guys, that are on scout team every week and give us a great look. And, our scout line don't really have any subs. So, I mean, they're going for each trade period. I mean, today they went around, like a game, like 50 plays just in a row. I mean, they're dying out there. They're putting their body on the line for us to give a good look. I mean, and to be able to watch those guys go in the game and be a part of a win, I mean, it's awesome. So that makes me more happy than, going out there and playing 40 to 50 reps by myself.
You come out of it feeling pretty fresh.
Yeah, no, I feel great. I think a lot of the other guys feel pretty good coming out. Lifted Sunday, felt good, and, got the legs back today, so I'm excited.
Hey, Ty, what stands out about Colorado's offensive line after watching them on film?
Yeah, they're a solid group. They're really great pass protectors. They're pretty aggressive in the run. We're just going to have to, just stick to our process, stick to our technique, and go play and go work because we know it's going to be up front.
Anything else for Ty?
Thank you.
Call for questions. Hey, Jamari, what kind of physical tone do you want to set in this game? Just as a defense, but just as a team too against Colorado.
I mean, we know we're a physical team, so we're just gonna go out and play our game, and we just hope that they can match that. So I mean, we're just gonna play our game.
What do you have to do against just how do you prepare? What do you have to do against the team that's athletic as Colorado is in skill positions?
I mean, you know, they have great receivers, great O-line, a lot of athleticism. But I mean, we just gonna stick to the game plan, you know, whatever Coach White calls, we just gonna run it to our perfection and play black shirt football the way we know we could play it.
How much of an impact do you hope the crowd noise will be on Colorado's offense as being in the stadium at night?
I mean, we know, like, coming into a game, we're not gonna get a cadence. It's 9 times out of 10 it's gonna be a clap just because of the crowd. So just having good anticipation on that will help us up front.
What's the challenge of a marquee game like this, kind of staying in the moment, not letting it get too big and making it more than it is?
I mean, you know, it's a lot of outside noise and you can kind of get caught into that. But as a defense, we always talked about keeping the main thing. And, you know, you are what you put on tape. So we're going against ourselves and the tape at the end of the day.
How do you block that out? Is there anything you can do for that?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think so. I mean,
You guys did a pretty good job of getting pressure on Shedeur Sanders last year, sacked him 7 times, and still he operated pretty well when he had chances to throw. So what do you take from that and knowing how you attack the pass rush this year?
I mean, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the nation, obviously. You know, we're gonna try to slow him down, but just try to capitalize off the opportunity when it comes, when it is like a true drop back or a true pass rush. So just trying to capitalize on those opportunities.
How did the up-tempo pace for UTEP help prepare you for this matchup?
It was really through practice because they gave us tempo all practice. And I mean, tempo is kind of hard when, you know, you got to get your cues, you got to see the calls and everything. So just through our practice the whole week, you know, scout team guys, they got us ready for that. They was going like super hurry up. Even if it was an incomplete pass, they was still going hurry up. So, I mean, I think last week helped us a lot get ready for tempo.
Who's simulating Shedeur Sanders in practice this week?
I don't think it's just scout team quarterback. Yeah, it's just somebody, basic quarterback.
We were talking Makai earlier. What do you see out of him this year, even compared to last year? Is he just at a different level with his game?
Yeah, he's playing with more confidence. You know, he was always a great player, but I feel like his biggest thing was playing fast with that confidence. And I mean, it's just, you seen it Saturday, he's playing well, he's digesting the game good, and he's getting us right.
When did you see that switch flip for him?
It got to be during fall camp. You know, he kind of took on a more vocal role because he wasn't the kind that would like always talk. So fall camp, just seeing that come out of him, and then Saturday he played to his standard.
Jamari, what are you expecting from the atmosphere on Saturday night? And you know, you've been a part of night games here before. What do you think the crowd's going to be like?
I mean, it's a night game, rivalry game. I know it's going to be electric. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.